buzzing, ether humming, wallets fat, them charts be drumming. And NFTs could be something or just art folks overcoming. Coins flip faster than flapjacks on a skillet. Bear a bull, I'ma milk it. Knowledge profit, gotta drill it. Good morning, crypto, rise and shine. Green candles climbing, feeling fine. Knowledge is profit, read the signs. Dollar bills dancing in the sunrise. Charts on my mind like a map to El Dorado. Dipped in the dips, now my pockets hit the lotto. Wallet stacked heavy like a barn full of hay. Huddle through the storm till the skies turn gray. Bull run, stampede, hear the thunder in the distance. Ride it, rope it, profits, persistence. Mining for gold in this blockchain stream. Dreams ain't far-fetched when you're chasing the dream. Wake up, get up, hit refresh. The future's digital, cash is flesh. Stacks on stacks, no time to rest. Knowledge is profit, pass the test. Ether humming, wallets fat, them charts be drumming. NFTs could be something or just art folks overcoming. Coins flip faster than flapjacks on a skillet. Bear a bull, I'ma milk it. Knowledge profit, gotta drill it. Good morning, crypto, rise and shine. Green candles climbing, feeling fine. Knowledge is profit, read the signs. Dollar bills dancing in the sunrise. Charts on my mind like a map to El Dorado. Dipped in the dips, now my pockets hit the lotto. Wallet stacked heavy like a barn full of hay. Huddle through the storm till the skies turn gray. Bull run, stampede, hear the thunder in the distance. Ride it, rope it, profits, persistence. Mining for gold in this blockchain stream. Dreams ain't far-fetched when you're chasing the dream. Wake up, get up, hit refresh. The future's digital, cash is flesh. Stacks on stacks, no time to rest. Knowledge is profit, pass the test. Rooster crowing, profit flowing, screens are growing, let's get going. Stacks to the moon while a band rolls strumming it. Knowledge drum up, pass the test. The test.
Step 1, wake up early, gon' rise the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
There we go. I don't know why it was, I don't know what's going on with it, but every single time I start the show, the mic just stops working. So there we go. Got it all working. But you know what time it is. It's time for another episode of Good Morning Crypto, where we turn your early hours in the morning into your edge of financial freedom. We've been seeing quite a bit of red. I've been favoring some shorts, and they've been printing. I know Piper's in a short from like 126K. So we've been printing and it's been going our way. But we are at a point where we could start to see just a little bit of bounce in action, and we will get to that in just a second. I do have a few news articles to go on over today. One of those is going to be about CoreWeave. We called that one out I believe 4 weeks ago, and it's been doing quite well since. We've got Amazon stepping into the nuclear sector, which, if you've been here for any length of time, you know I'm a big fan of nuclear energy, so we're gonna talk about this one. And ChatGPT is gonna be doing something a little spicy coming here soon. But before we get to all of that, let's dive on in and get you prepped for some success today, because we are seeing some continued movements not only in the stocks but also in the crypto sector. We are seeing a little bit of downside this morning. We did get a little bit of bouncing both in the crypto side of things and the TradFi. This was quite a bit further down. We did have Apple down over 1% this morning, now sitting down 0.85. Nvidia down 2.04. We got Berkshire Hathaway down 0.48. Amazon sitting down 0.89. We got Eli Lilly down 4.07. ExxonMobil sitting up 0.05. We've got Tesla down 2.13. P&G sitting up 0.76. We've got Microsoft down 0.53. Google sitting down 1.59, and Meta sitting down 1.12. Hopping over to the crypto side of things, there is nothing but red bubbles over here. As you scroll on down, you can see we are getting a little bit of bouncing action at a Leo token. It is the one project that's in the green right now on that hourly. But you know, it is that exchange token, and when things are dumping, people normally move over into that exchange downside. We got Bitcoin down 6.3. We've got Ethereum down 8.7. BNB sitting down 11.7%. We've got XRP down 9.5. Solana sitting down 10.4. We've got Tron down 5%. We've got Doge down 11%. Cardano down 11.7. We've got Chainlink losing a spot in the market cap from a stable coin, down 13%. We've got Stellar Lumens gaining a spot in the market cap, down 10.4. Hyperliquid also gaining a spot in the market cap, down 10.6. Bitcoin Cash sitting down 12.7%, losing its spot in the market cap from both Stellar and Hyper. We've got Leo token down 3.5. SWI sitting down 14.8%. We've got Avalanche down 12.7, HBAR down 12.6. We've got Litecoin down 10.7%. It is quite a red market today, and we will have to see if we can get a little bit of bouncing. We are in extreme fear on the stock market. You know, I was calling that out the other day. I said that it was probably coming, and we finally hit extreme fear. I also said it for the crypto side of things as well. We are sitting in extreme fear over there as well. Not too unexpected after we've been seeing these massive moves towards the downside. It is why I've been favoring some shorts. We were talking about those higher time frame charts, and they definitely were favoring some downside. And we're getting close to some levels where we could start to see some bouncing. We do have a little bit of liquidity that started to pile up directly towards the downside, sitting at $104,000. We do have some up at the top as well. We've got a few hot spots up there. We've got some at $109,000. We've got some at $111,500, and then some all the way up here at $112,000. Zooming this on out, taking a look at that 3-day, we've got quite a bit of liquidity towards the top side, way up at the highs before we got our dump in action back up at $113,800. So that is an area to kind of watch for if we can start reclaiming some key areas that we've talked about before. Taking a look at that 2-week, we do have some liquidity if it'll load back up at the top side as well. We've got that hot spot at $116,300, and then way back up there at $126,000. We will kind of have to see if we can get our way back up there. We do have some levels we will have to reclaim first, before we can get up there, though. Let's get that Bitcoin chart pulled up, say good morning to the people in the chat, and see what's going on. If you got any alt requests, go ahead, throw them out there. Any stock requests as well, we can get over those in just a second. We got Ada Ace first in the chat. Good morning to you. We've got Steve Hickey in here. He said, is the bounce coming? Well, potentially we're getting a little bit of a move back up towards our platinum pocket, an area we had talked about yesterday, but we will have to see if we can reclaim that platinum pocket, hold it as some support, and then get above some of the ranges that we were looking at beforehand. We got Jesse Gluck in here, Crypto Billy, sending everyone from his morning motivational video. If y'all aren't following that channel, you definitely should be. A great way to start out the morning. We've got Curtis Hill in here. We've got Donato Cabrera. Good morning. Let's scroll it on down, see who else we got. We got Jay in the chat. Good morning to you. We've got Melissa in here. Good morning. Today's going to be a good day, she said. It most definitely is. Even if we're going to see a little bit of red on the charts, it doesn't mean that it's going to be a bad day. Sometimes you just got to take advantage of the best assets and buy those up at some discounts, because this is quite the discount. And we've also got that in the TradFi markets as well. We've got Dylan VA in here this morning as well. Good morning. We've got All Set. Good morning to you, sir. Let's see who else we got in here. We got Chris Wrights. Good morning. Let's see, anyone else? Looks like that's it for now. We've got a viewer over on X as well. I appreciate you tuning on in. Let's get into this Bitcoin chart and then get into some of the news. So we did get that move off of our fair value gap from up here. We had talked about wanting to get up to the midline of that, and if we didn't get up to the midline of it, seeing some downside action, and that's pretty much exactly what happened. We blasted through the bottom side of this range from back here, which was 111,800 that we were potentially looking to hold if we wanted to continue on some bullish action. We did talk about $110,000 as well. We got a little bit of some bouncing action off of that before we continued towards the downside. One of those other key levels that we had talked about was the platinum pocket down here. We are trying to get back up towards the platinum pocket this morning after we saw that fall through it. We will kind of have to take a look at some shorter time frames to see if we can really get that continuation off of the platinum pocket, but this daily is not looking amazing as that money flow has just gotten into the red here. You still have a little more downside action to go before you'd really start seeing some reversal signals start flashing on that prime oscillator and that curvature back towards the upside. Doesn't mean you don't see a little bit of some upside action, but I'm still favoring the shorts as we do have all of these red candles in sequence, and we're really waiting for that nice juicy level down here at about $102,000 to see if we get some bouncing action. That is the top side of a fair value gap from the move towards the upside. We talked about it earlier this week. That bottom side's really coming in at $98,000, and that's an area we could potentially see us close out before we get that move towards the upside. We'll just have to see if we can get back above that platinum pocket first, get a little bit of bouncing action, and then maybe continue on a little bit of downside, because we do see some bottoming on some shorter term time frames. Let's get over to that 4 hour here. You are seeing that curvature back towards the downside on that MACD. That prime oscillator also got that curvature back down, and the money flow heavily in the red. But we do have our second reversal signal that has flashed. So we are waiting to see if this reversal signal actually plays out. I would favor another reversal signal here on the 4 hour before I really have a whole lot of confidence. It does look like the platinum pocket is going to be a little bit of some resistance for now, and then we'll see if we can get that continuation towards the upside. That is why we talked about that fair value gap all the way down here earlier this week because we did see quite a bit of downside action and money flow was really starting to come on out. If you do take a look at this 1 hour here, you are starting to see a little more bottoming action, but this money flow is extremely ugly. And that's why in the chat earlier I said the beating will continue until morale improves, and we're really looking like morale could improve here if we can get above the platinum pocket and hold it, or if we get down to this fair value gap. Those are those two real key areas I would keep my eye on. We are seeing some sell off underneath the platinum pocket, and that'd be that area we really want to get above to see that nice continuation towards the upside. We do have a little bit of resistance at 106 or 100. That was the point of control for this sideways range back here, and that would be another area to kind of keep your eye on to see a little bit of rejection if we do get a bouncing action towards the top side of the platinum pocket and we don't hold it. So that's a little rejection area to kind of keep your eye on if we do get some continued upside action here in the shorter time frame. But we would need to get above all of this and hold it as some support to start getting to some of those key levels that we had pointed out from back here. So we do have 108,200. That was our all-time high from previous. If you look way back there, got it marked on out. That's where we got those very equal candle bodies from way back there. That's another area we would need to get above and hold to continue on towards the upside. So we got a lot of resistance directly above us once we get above the platinum pocket. So those are a few levels to kind of keep your eye on if we do get above that platinum pocket. But that area directly towards the downside definitely looks extremely interesting with how the higher time frames are looking. The 15-minute, we are seeing a little bit of bouncing action this morning after we got that move below the platinum pocket, but we did get that nice little rejection off of it just a little while ago, and we are starting to see that curvature back towards the upside on the MACD and the prime oscillator as well. And the big holdup here is our money flow. As you can see, it is heavily red here. Your volume is starting to slow down a little bit too, so we're really waiting to see that volume increase with a nice key level where a lot of money flow starts coming back in. And that is why I'm looking towards the downside here if we can't get above that platinum pocket and hold it all over again. I see Alexandra G in the chat this morning. Good morning to you. It's nice to see you in here again. We've got Conspiracy Crypto in here as well. Good morning to you. Hope you're having a great day so far. Let's see. We got any alt request? I did see Al Jr. in here. He said it's Black Friday. It's Black Friday if you're buying assets, but it is not Black Friday yet if you're buying Christmas presents. Let's see. We got any alt requests to put on the list? I'm not seeing any alt requests. But if you got any alt requests, go ahead and throw those out to me. We will take a look at them in just a second after we get through the news. We did just print a bullish divergence here, so we'll kind of have to see if we can get above that platinum pocket in the shorter time frame and then continue towards the upside. MP and USAR, I can take a look at those. MP, USAR, and COAI. OAI. All right, I got those on my list there, and we can take a look at those after we get through some news. I did have a few charts of my own I wanted to take a look at, and then we can get to those alt requests. But we did have this big one that we called CoreWeave out a while ago. CoreWeave stock climbs as it enters the storage arena dominated by Amazon. So scrolling on in here, getting to the meat and the potatoes. CoreWeave shares rose on Thursday morning after the data center operator, which is backed by chip design colossus NVIDIA, launched an AI project storage service. The firm claims that the service provides 75% lower storage costs for its existing clients' typical AI workloads. CoreWeave new offering comes with no egress charges, the cost of moving data out of cloud storage service, as well as no request and transaction charges. Future competitors to Amazon and Google, the new storage offering called the AI Object Storage makes CoreWeave a possible future competitor to object storage providers such as Amazon Web Services and Google Cloud, both of which charge egress fees. CoreWeave observed that the service is fully managed, meaning that it handles all activities such as setup and maintenance required for the storage service to function properly. In terms of pricing, CoreWeave noted that its charges are automatically determined in 3-tier based usage levels. The offering comes with features that help to maintain the accuracy of data while being transferred between cloud service providers, the Neo Cloud company added. So definitely looking like CoreWeave stepping up a little bit harder in the tech sector. They've got big things coming with AI. They've got a lot of partnerships, and now they're stepping into the data arena. We'll take a look at that CoreWeave chart in a second, but I called out CoreWeave a few weeks ago, and it's been doing quite well ever since. We also got Amazon looking to make its first nuclear facility. We've been harping on the nuclear news because, that's been the biggest growing sector when you're talking about energy. Everyone wants cheap energy, everyone wants cleaner energy. But a lot of people kind of faded nuclear for a while. There was a lot of FUD on nuclear, and you've been seeing that narrative change extremely quickly. You've had Microsoft and Bill Gates stepping into nuclear. Bezos is now stepping into nuclear. All of the AI companies are stepping into nuclear. We did some news about the Army stepping into nuclear this past week, and they're all looking at doing the same thing. And this is small modular reactors that will power areas specifically for them. And that's the biggest boom in the energy production sector right now. We do have geothermal, which I've talked about a little bit, but it isn't getting as much recognition as nuclear is. Even the Department of Energy is hopping on the nuclear train. And Amazon, no different, has a massive energy use case. Getting in here, Amazon shared some new details about its plan to deploy more nuclear energy across Washington state, where the company is headquartered. About a year ago, Amazon announced an agreement with Energy Northwest, a consortium of public utilities in Washington, to support the development of up to 12 advanced nuclear reactors by the early 2030s. Once complete, Amazon would have the right to purchase electricity from the first 320 megawatt phase of the project. The additional capacity would be open to Amazon and local utilities to use. What's the difference about these reactors is that they're small and modular, which is supposed to make them cheaper and easier to deploy than America's existing fleet of nuclear power plants. Amazon shared several rendered images today of what the first plant might look like outside of Richland, Washington, called the Cascade Advanced Energy Facility. It'll include 3 sections which combined capacity of 960 megawatts, about enough electricity to power 770,000 homes in the US. While an old school reactor with about the same capacity might spread across more than a square mile of land, according to Amazon, Cascadia is expected to take up a few city blocks. And this is the new nuclear push, taking up less space and powering more homes than ever. And if you've been paying attention, this is not just the trend here in the US. China's hopping on that bandwagon. You've got the EU hopping on that bandwagon. They've been making deals with American companies to produce some modular nuclear reactors inside of several European countries. And this is why I've been favoring nuclear. I told y'all since about December of last year that this was the train that was coming, and it doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon. So we will continue to hype up nuclear as nuclear continues to get hyped up. Taking a look at this quick one, we're not going to go too in depth with it, but Sam Altman says ChatGPT will soon sext with verified users. So looks like they're coming out with an Erotica feature, and that'll come with an age rollout verification in December. We won't get too heavy into that one. I just thought it was a little bit interesting that this is the latest push from ChatGPT when there's so much better things that they could do. You could do like music production. You know, Sora's been lagging a little bit. There's a lot of better ones that are coming out with image generation and video generation, and this is what they decide to do. But that was the spicy bit for this morning. We won't dive too heavily in that article because, you know, there's not a whole lot to talk about with it. The title kind of says it all. I just thought it was a little bit funny. The AI girlfriends are coming. So definitely headed that way. We got Aiko here in the chat this morning. Good morning to you. Let's take a look at a few companies that I had called out before. You know, we talked about CoreWeave, so let's get over to that CoreWeave chart. We got it pulled up here, and we called it out way back here when we were starting to make a little bit of an uptrend, and we had got to the top side of what was a resistance line. We've been on a bit of an uptrend ever since, but we do have some local resistance that we need to get above if we want to break above our all-time highs at $180. That's why it'll be our demise, in my opinion, says Crypto Bill. Hey, I don't disagree with you. The trend has been that less human interaction is heading our way. And AI girlfriends will definitely not slow that down in any bit, but it was always coming. You know, we've seen the trend. There's been a massive explosion in technology, and anytime there's an explosion in technology, bad actors will also grab that technology up and use it for less than ethical means. So I just thought it was interesting. Everyone AI girlfriends what? BC, says Jesse. Yeah, I mean, we had to know it was coming. And then the next one is going to be like fully robot girlfriends. And then you can kind of just go from there. Like society is not going to improve any bit after that. Futurama did an episode a long time ago on this. Yeah, they definitely did, and it was kind of the trend that we always knew was coming as technology improves. It kind of exacerbates the idea that human interaction with actual human beings is less and less important, and that's not the truth. It has never been the truth. The big part about it is no one can really make money off of legitimate human interactions, and that's why it's just not propagated. And I'm not for the trend, but I will make money off the trend. I will not be in the trend myself, but where the money is, I'm gonna be. It just is what it is. I don't have to enjoy it, but you know, if there's money to be made, there's money to be made. And I'm worried about me and mine, and hopefully helping other people get their profit along the way as well. And if the trend is heading in a certain way, sometimes you got to hop on the bandwagon with your money and make some money along the way. And you don't also have to do the things that they're selling. So I will not be getting an AI girlfriend because I got a good girlfriend, but definitely don't fade human interaction. It is the most crucial part of how we progress as a species and how we get things better. The internet is not real. So you can stay online. I know I'm online right now talking to all of you, but like the legitimate human action is the most important part of a society. And the further we get away from that, the further you're going to see the demise of like human society. So let's take a look at CoreWeave though. So I could keep going on that one for hours, but you're here to make some money. So we've got a nice move towards the upside here off of CoreWeave. We do have some nice local resistance up at $150. That was an area we were potentially looking for, and we are back in a CME gap here. So we are holding it quite nicely for now. We've got our 50% line on our fib extensions, which is our support for right now. We are looking like we're going to open up directly below that. Not too unexpected, as the whole market is kind of opening up a little bit lower today, but this money flow here looks quite nice. So if we can hold this key level, really get some cool off here. This has been a nice little sideways trend here. We do have a little bit of sideways momentum coming in on that MACD and the prime oscillator as well. A little bit of a bearish divergence, but our nice strong support is way down here at 132 that I'd potentially look to hold. This is closed, so let me get that colored on in with a black background. There we go. That is that area I would potentially look for us to hold, and if we aren't holding it, coming way down here to $122. CoreWeave has been on a nice little uptrend. Maybe not a bad time to take a little bit of some profits to look for some lower entries if we can't hold this current sideways range here. So CoreWeave looking a little bit iffy on that daily. The really high time frames though are just starting to get some data. So CoreWeave on the weekly just starting to get some moving averages here. We are holding this higher time frame moving average quite nicely for now, and we'll kind of have to see if we get that break below our CME gap and then continue towards the downside just a little bit. 122 doesn't look bad if we can't hold our sideways range for a nice little re-entry, or if you missed some of the boat here, grabbing an entry for the first time. If we don't hold all those levels, we do have that CME gap right down there as well. So I'll kind of have to watch how this money flow goes and how far this sideways momentum cools us off, because if we do get some continued downside and we can't hold that 122 level, we've got the CME gap from way back here that is still open, and that's about $100. So another nice little entry point. Not a guarantee that we get that far down if we do continue with this sideways momentum within the CME gap though. Taking a look at that shorter term time frame, that hourly is looking a little overheated as well, and that's why I would look towards the downside of that CME gap first before you can get that move back towards the upside and towards our local resistance at $155. Did want to take a look at gold. Gold continuing to get some moves towards the upside. It is at an area where I had talked about some potential resistance at from before, and that was about 4,400. We got very, very close to there before we started seeing a little bit of some downside action. The higher time frames are extremely overheated, but don't fade gold. You know, everything has been in that nice strong move towards the upside, because the Dixie, as we have talked about again and again, has been in a massive downtrend. We are still making some lower highs here. We do have nice local support below us, but that dollar isn't looking massively strong, and if we break towards the downside on the dollar, that's just going to give gold that next leg towards the upside. And we had some targets way up here at $4,710. I know that seemed a little bit wild before, but it definitely looks like that is the momentum that gold has on the higher term time frame. Taking a look here at the weekly, you can see that we're getting some nice moves towards the upside. that MACD breaking above our indicator line with some massive strength as we start printing those massive green candles on the histogram, and the money flows just starting to pick up on the weekly. We do have that daily also looking quite nice as it gets that move off of our indicator line here. We did have several bearish divergences that really failed to play out, so looking for a little bit of some cool off like we saw here would not be too unexpected. I wouldn't expect it to be as long as this one was before we continue towards the upside. If we do see the dollar continue to look a little bit iffy, so that's that big thing. The dollar has been looking iffy, really unable to get above that golden pocket, and if we can't get above the golden pocket, then gold going to get that move towards the upside there. So keep your eye on the Dixie. It has been continuing to make those lower highs even on the shorter term time frames. So trend has been a little bit iffy on the dollar. We did have a few alt requests to go over. We had MP requested, so let's take a look at that one. Let's see, was that crypto there? Maybe the stock, unless you're talking this one here. So let's see. Okay, looking for a crypto. I'm pretty sure Jay requested that. So are you talking about a stock MP, or are you talking about a crypto? Because if you're talking about the stock, it'd be MP Materials Corp. And I feel like that's what you were talking about. Okay, there we go. MP Materials Corp. Looks like it's getting a massive close open towards the downside. Not too unexpected. That is the trend this morning. Things are opening towards the downside. That will kind of close out that CME gap from right there, though. So let's get that CME gap drawn on out real quick. See what we're looking at. We've got this CME gap, which is looking like it's pretty much going to close with that downside move. We did try to hold the midline of that and then continue towards the downside. Let's get that locked. Let's get this zoomed on out just a little bit here. Take a look at that daily. Oh, nice strong moves towards the upside, getting a little bit of some downside action, not too unexpected. USAR is also a stock. All right, well, we can take a look at that one right after this. Nice strong moves towards the upside. I'm not sure what this company does. Let's see. Non-energy materials. All right, so not a bad sector there. We can get a local fib pulled on up. We do have a few levels to kind of keep our eye on if we want to see some bouncing action. Let's get from the lows to the high there. Might have to go off of that low before the move towards the upside and see what we'd look like in our current range. We got that nice little rejection off of the 236, looking to potentially hold the 50% line if we can get that move back towards the upside. But this CME gap is the first thing I would kind of watch for. It is looking like it's trying to close with the pre-market moves. So that golden pocket is going to be directly below it, and that's coming in at $78.76. That'd be an area to potentially look for a little bit of bouncing action at. That daily is looking a little overheated here as you get that curvature back towards the downside. Demonstration tool, there we go, curvature back towards the downside. Also getting that curvature on the prime oscillator as well, but you do have some nice green money flow here, so volume just starting to pick back up. We'll kind of have to see if we hold that golden pocket or not, and if we don't, we've got some levels on even a more macro time frame to kind of keep our eye on. So let's get that more macro fib pulled on up here and see what we'd be looking at for some lower levels. So 382 would be that next real area, coming in at $69.18. So we did get some nice bounce and action off of that 382 before. Looks like you could potentially come back down there if you don't hold some of those more local range areas that we had just talked about. So definitely got some nice strong support directly below us. We are in a little bit of an uptrend, and that would still keep that trend there. So got those higher lows coming on in. We do have that the 236 as an area to kind of keep your eye on as well. It looks like pre-market is opening up directly below that, but that could definitely be a nice little close of the CME gap and go from there. So golden pocket directly below that on the local time frame to look for some bouncing action at, and if not, taking a look at the macro and seeing if we get that 382 bounce at $69. You did talk about USAR as well. So USAR, that was a stock, USA Rare Earth Metals. I have heard of this one. It did get that strong move towards the upside as well. So let's get that fib pulled on up from the lows before the move towards the upside there. Let's see what we're looking at. Looking like pre-market's trying to get that move down to the golden pocket, $24.99. We'll just round it on up, $25 there. We are getting that move towards the downside, just like the rest of the markets. So seeing if we can get that nice little bouncing action at the golden pocket, and if we can't, we've got our CME gap here to kind of keep your eye on. So we've got this nice little CME gap directly below the golden pocket to really keep your eye on there. That'd be a nice little area to see if you can get some pickup on. Let's see, get that moved. It is directly on the golden pocket to $23.36. So this is that area I would kind of potentially look for an entry at. If you can't hold that, looking back down towards that platinum pocket would be of some interest. We are in a little bit of a downtrend. We've got a massive move towards the upside as well. So seeing a little bit of sell off, not too unexpected. Your money flow is also trying to break into the red here. So I'm not sure too much about the company, what it does, but look, if it does provide an actual legitimate service, look into the downside for an entry point. Might not be too bad. We moved through the platinum pocket, we moved through the golden pocket, so trying to hold one of these areas as some support would not be too unexpected. Really get that continuation there. Platinum pocket coming in at $19.87. So if you don't hold this range here, looking down there for an entry would be what I would kind of look for there. You do have a fair value gap there as well, coming from the top side of the CME gap all the way to below the platinum pocket there. So nice little range to kind of keep your eye on as well. That is a nice big area for some potential entry there. So let's see what that shorter term time frame is looking like. We do have some nice cool off there on the shorter term time frame. We are trying to see if we can hold the golden pocket first. It was some support here, looks like our strong support area, and if we can't hold that, coming back down would kind of be what I would watch for, and that's where that $23.32 really comes into play. So we did have an alt request as well. We've got Dave Digital in the chat. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you're having a great day so far. Let's see, what was Jesse saying? Bitcoin up 1.38%, and getting that move directly towards that first area we had talked about as some potential resistance. So seeing if we can come back down towards the platinum pocket and really hold that as some support. We did have that secondary area to kind of watch for, 108,200. But let's get over to COAI. COAI, and it is a crypto. Let's see, have we taken a look at it before? Not on that one. COAI. I'm pretty sure we've looked at it before for you. Guess not. So this one looks like it has a little bit better history, and we'll get a fib level pulled on up from the lows back here to our high up here. Looks like we got that move up off of the 50% line back here, and then we're trying to hold the 382. So nice little move towards the upside for now, and we do have some levels to kind of keep your eye on. We are looks like it's rejecting off of a point of control where we got our most price action at about right now, and that's $17.50. You can see how much price action we really got but in that area, and it looks like we're seeing a little bit of some resistance at that point. So let's see on that higher term time frame though what we got going on. No data to go over, so let's zoom it on in, take a look at a 4 hour, see what's going on there. Money flow heavily in the red here. We did get that 50% line bounce on our fibs, so really seeing if we can hold that area and maintain at least the 382 for now. That's coming in at $16.12. That'd be a nice area to kind of watch for some support if we do continue towards the downside, and if not, that 50% line coming in at $14.07. We'll kind of have to see in our current range though, because that 4 hour is looking a little bit toppy, and that money flow is continuing to the downside while that prime oscillator is rolling on over there. So volume is extremely low as well. So what would be the area of interest where you start seeing that volume pick up and money flow really switching around? That 382 looks really interesting. If you can't hold that, the real area of entry would be down here at the 50% line. So we do have that hourly looking a little bit bottomy here, trying to get that move back towards the upside. We do have red money flow to really get over, and that's why that point of control and $17.50 about 50 cents would be that area to kind of get above if you want to continue towards the upside there. We do have those all-time highs to kind of contend with. We've got these very equal levels here with that wicking action and the candle bodies. Let me get that drawn on out. Oh, wrong one there. Horizontal ray. Horizontal ray. There we go. Off of $21.28. So that'd be that area if we can get above the 236 to kind of keep your eye on. That 236 coming in at $18.54. Looks like for now we are seeing a little bit of sell-off in the morning, and then we'll have to see if we can get that continued holding of $16.18. We're seeing some now bottoming action on the hourly, but we've got some extremely red money flow to get above for now. So looks like our local resistance $17.33. Let's get that short-term horizontal ray drawn out. This is going to be our long-term time frame one, and make that a little bit thicker there. So that's our first area to kind of get above and hold as some support, $17.37, and then we can get that continued move towards the upside there. ARO and ZEC, gonna take a look. If I had a little more time, we would definitely take a look at those this morning. I got on a little bit of a tangent with that whole AI thing, so sorry about that. I hope everyone's had a great morning so far, and I will see you in about 30 minutes at Alex O Crypto. Make sure to tune into the rest of the shows here on the Piper Academy. We got 3 shows daily. That's that morning market report at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We've got Trading with OC at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Those are the places to be if you want the breakdown of the data and you want to learn how to trade, or you just want to have a little fun in the evenings. OC is a lot of fun and a very, very smart guy. So great place to be if you're awake. I'm not awake, so I miss his shows, but there's a lot of fun going on in the chats there. And if you've been missing out on it, you're missing out on some amazing setups. He talks about them all the time the next day, and his hit rate is extremely high. So great place to learn how to trade, or at least refresh on some of your skills. But until the next time, make sure to wake up, because today's going to be a good day.
Corp, the captain at the helm, navigating waters in this crypto realm. Charts like constellations, I'm mapping the stars. Wallets full of dreams, I'm stacking the bars. Digits dance, decimals do the samba. Markets a jungle, I'm Tarzan in the drama. Blockchain spinning, a digital parade. I'm the tour guide through the mess we wade. Huddle or fold, the question burns. In this game of risk, the tables turn. Good morning, crypto, I light up the haze, guiding the lost through these crypto waves. From FOMO to fortune, I'm paving the ways. BC Port Corp, your lighthouse ablaze. Bull stampede, bears in hibernation. I'm the translator for the strange equation. Ether rising, Bitcoin flexing, altcoins whisper, I'm here dissecting. Rug pulls lurking, shadows in the mist. I see the red flags, they don't make my list. Whales making splashes, minnows feel the quake, but I'm the steady hand when the markets shake. I'm the translator for the strange equation. Ether rising, Bitcoin flexing, altcoins whisper, I'm here dissecting. Rug pulls lurking, shadows in the mist. I see the red flags, they don't make my list. Whales making splashes, minnows feel the quake, but I'm the steady hand when the markets shake.